guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here on my home turf filming spot location because guess what? We have that one German brand that really is synonymous with all-wheel drive. It's this vehicle right here. This is a 2025 updated, changed up refresh Audi Q7. This one with what's underneath the hood is called the Q7 55. But before we get into this turbocharged mid-size crossover SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. So Audi, they are synonymous with their Quattro all-wheel drive system. The reason why is going back to the 1980s, they were the first in the World Rally Championship to bring that engineering technology to the competition. All the other competitors were rear-wheel drive. Audi showed it how to be done with their Quattro all-wheel drive system. Now, fast forward to model year 2025, their whole lineup is all Quattro equipped to give you that, of course, ultimate grip and control. Now, for this model year, they decided to make some changes to the outside and the inside. But what I want to find out is it enough to make it the best new mid-size crossover SUV, especially against one of their hometown rivals? Who's that? That's BMW with the X5. So let's go ahead, let's dive into our Q7 and find out, is it the one to get over a BMW X5? Let's find out. Right off the bat, this, believe it or not, is Audi's largest crossover SUV that they sell currently in the United States. Now, at the front of the business, you're going to see an all-new headlight design. Still very unique with its Audi design philosophy, the LED daytime running lamps, the turn signals, and your LED headlights. Working our way down, new front fascia. So they redesigned this corner vent area. You could actually see the heat exchangers lurking behind, enlarged to flow more air. And it's interesting because you might look at this crossover SUV, this Q7, and think that it's black. It's not. It's actually a super metallic root beer brown. Kind of interesting, and I think it's working for the most part. Now, these areas are gloss black, but it blends in pretty nicely to our root beer brown, and the fact that they're fully functional checks off all the boxes for me. Coming across that massive open grille. Audi was the first to bring it. You have the Auto Union badge. Love the way it's got that dark gunmetal gray, lights up at night, forward-facing camera, and then the individual vertical gloss black. And if you look behind there, you'll notice all the doors are closed. This has active shutters to bring less or more air into the front of the Q7. Of course, forward-facing camera. But remember, it was those 4 German auto manufacturers during the World Depression in the 1930s that unified together to create Auto Union, which is what Audi is today. And that's what the 4 rings represent, are those 4 German brands that came together. Now, on the lower portion, you're going to notice some body color, and then I do like the way they went flat black on the lower lip, and you do have functionality throughout. That's probably one of the biggest pieces of news, is nothing is fake on the exterior, especially at the front. But let me know what you think about the updated grille. Still has that classic Audi open grille design. They were the first. And if you think about it, think about how many other companies have imitated what they do with that. Now, as we rise up, love the way the hood meets nicely with the top of the gloss black grille. Look at all the metal flake. More metal flake than your grandpa's balls. His bowling balls would be jealous of this paint job. I mean, it is pretty spectacular just how nice of a paint job it is. Coming around the bend, we got all new wheels and tires. So what you're gonna find are these gloss black inserts with our metallic gunmetal gray finish, RS branding. Remember, RS stands for Rennsport. And these wheels are the optional 21-inch wheel. Standard wheel's 19, then you could go optional 20. This is a 21-inch wheel. Tires are 285 on the width, 40 series sidewall, and of course, we have that Quattro all-wheel drive system. Even a nice 6-piston, large caliper. I like the simple flat black. It would have been nice if it said Audi on it, but nice looking caliper. Rotors are a little over 14 inches in diameter up front. And then another great piece of the puzzle is everything is body color, that nice metallic root beer brown. And I'll be honest with you, I am a sucker for a root beer float. I love root beer floats. Now coming down the side, you're gonna have power folding mirrors, color match on the top, flat black on the bottom, the LED turn signals. We do have 360-degree cameras. Love the way they took the same finish from the wheel and brought it on our roof rails, nice and close to the body. Panoramic sunroof. And then you'll also see color matched on the door handles all the way down to that lower side skirt. Now let me show you a couple of the touches. First of all, I'm kind of digging how they put the Audi name and the model name on those door frames. And then working our way down, it's so hard to see, but there's the Quattro name stamped in to that black trim. So one of the things that's kind of cool about this brown metallic color is that because it is looking like dark black from certain angles, it makes all that trim blend in super nice. Now, of course, this is rear-wheel drive biased, but it does send power to all four wheels. Nice large quarter window, because I think the other big piece of the puzzle to this compared to the X5, X5 is only available as a 2-row. This, believe it or not, and I'm gonna show you, it's a 3-row. Kind of crazy because this is not that large of a crossover SUV. Now, when we come around the back, it's almost perfect. You do have a nice long roof spoiler. I wish they would get rid of the wiper. We got to zonk the wiper because I would tuck that sucker underneath there, but I'm definitely not zonking the lighting. Beautiful LED just like up front. We have that gunmetal gray finish on the back with the Audi badge, illuminates at night, which is great. And then working our way down to ground level, we have the return of functional exhaust. So you have that dark chrome finish, functional exhaust on both sides. Thank you, Audi. See, they listen. You get a zonk and then they change it. The zonk I am gonna issue is I don't like this lower trim piece. They did refresh the lower bumper, but this fake vent looking thing, I don't know, it just kind of, it's pointless. Keep it smooth or body color paint it, and then you do have, of course, your full tow capability. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk about the horsepower numbers of this Q7. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hood struts. There is a large amount of black plastic, but I do like the way they have the auto union badge. If you peek underneath all that plastic, and Steven could actually show you on the side there, we don't have an inline four, we have a V6. 3-liter V6 single turbocharged engine, 335 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in about 5.5 seconds. Top speed is governed to 132 miles an hour. MPGs 18 in the city, 23 on the highway. The vehicle weighs 5,135 pounds, and you could tow up to 7,700 pounds. With those stat numbers, another vehicle that would be a perfect competitor to this one, probably even a little bit better than the X5, that's also available with 3 rows, would be the Acura MDX Type S, believe it or not. That would be a very unique comparison to think about as well. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this V6. We got real exposed exhaust. Let's hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 updated, changed up Audi Q7 55. The 55 represents the engine that we have. If you want to go above this one, it would be the SQ7. But I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I'm kind of digging the style of this Q7. I don't want a big, ginormous crossover SUV. How much is this one? So this one does have some major options. The Prestige package is probably the biggest one. It gives you the 21-inch wheels, that special LED lighting, and a bunch of the other changes. That brings the MSRP with everything else, including the special color, MSRP $88,000 and change. Let's see what it brings for the money to the door panels. I do love the materials. Soft touch up top, you got ambient lighting and that real open pore wood. I love the dark black stain to it. 2 memory seat settings, and then you'll notice the tan two-tone, no gloss black around the switchgear, and you have a door pocket large enough for 4 bratwursts and a large pitcher, a stein full of root beer. And we have the Bang & Olufsen optional speaker system with over 20 speakers in this thing. Going from the door panel to the dash, the stitching, you'll notice the speakers, how they pop up from the dash. My zonk is the amount of gloss black here. Large amount of gloss black, but I do like the Quattro badge, and this real wood finish is really elegant. Even on the sides of the center console, the leather, the stitching. Slide on in, you're gonna be greeted to a little bit over 10-inch infotainment system. The detail on the maps is really picture perfect, spot on. We could go to our home screen, have your different things set up very easily there. Plus, remember, you could also bring up your drive select. So this is where you could go dynamic as sport, leave it on auto, comfort, all road, all the different things that you want in this is very easy to accomplish. And that's what makes it so great of a system. Now, let me throw it into reverse for you. Backup camera, the resolution could be a little bit better, but you do have trajectory, which is great. And I like the way the camera moves a little bit when you go hard to the left or hard to the right. We hit 3D. There we are sitting here in the parking lot, and our 360 cameras all the way around. That one is like that because the door is open. I wish it would show Steven instead of just an empty spot there. But real easy to use, which is perfect. We don't need anything else more complicated in our lives. But the gloss black is just silly. Too much gloss black. Now you have a separate 8-inch screen down below. This is going to be for your dual climate control. You got 3 stages of ventilated seats, 3 stages of heated seats. Obviously for both passenger and driver. We got hill descent control. You could shut off that pesky auto start stop feature. And I like the way you could shrink that down and actually bring shortcuts here, which are kind of cool. This is your drive select switch. This is what brings you into your different modes that I was showing you. And you could raise and lower the vehicle depending on the mode. Start stop button, real volume knob. This is going to control your 8-speed automatic transmission. Too much gloss black. And I don't like the exposed cup holders. It looks a little on the cheap side. But I do love the nice Audi key fob. You got your 12 volt. You got a little place for a Twinkie, just one. Lift this up, not a lot of room. You might be able to squeeze your Rolex in here. Maybe your tag, because they give you a nice little this. So what's great about this is that you can do magic tricks with it, or believe it or not, this is the official. Here's the badge. I mean, you can see the Audi badge right up top there. This is the official Audi gloss black cleaning wipe. This is for you to sit and make sure that you get everything, all the fingerprints, all the dust, all that nice and clean. Look at that. Let me do it this way. There we go. You do have wireless charging though, which is nice. And then the seats, the leather, the perforations, nice bolstering. You have full electric assist for the passenger, full electric assist, of course, for the driver. And then we do have our panoramic sunroof. One-touch operation on the sunshade. But why don't you come over here to the business center? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Audi. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You got a little bit of a small aluminum sill plate to welcome you with the LED lighting wrapped around it. I like the way they put a little bit of silver finish on your seat controls. I'm 6 feet tall. I got a good amount of room in here. Steering wheel, the nice leather, the contrast stitching. You got the auto union badge. Flat black on the switchgear so you don't have to worry about fingerprints. Paddles on the back of the wheel to go up and down that 8-speed automatic. And we do have a power tilting and telescoping wheel. And then you got that nice, beautiful digital gauge cluster. They call this the virtual cockpit. Really love the way it's easy to use. You got a cornucopia of different information to show. And what's nice is I can go like this. Are you ready for it? Bam! Look at that. Audi was the first to bring it just like that, and a head-up display. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the mid-row, and God help us, the third row in this Q7. All right, guys, mid-row time, and what's great is that you have plenty of room for the mid-row passengers, plus, love the way they place the AC vents in the frame, and you have extra speakers from that Bang & Olufsen sound system. The Zonk, though, what do we got going on here? You put a Ginsu knife in here, you put a Chinese throwing star or a dagger, it's gonna rip right through that. The back command center is pretty impressive. More AC vents. We have that beautiful digital readout here for your rear AC controls. Heated seats, but no ventilated seats. At 88 Gs, I want my passengers to be chilled with the ventilated seats. 2 USB-Cs, a 12 volt. Seats are comfy. I do like the addition of the sunshades, and believe it or not, the seats slide and they recline, which is pretty nice. But why don't we go ahead, well, before I do that, let me show you the center armrest. I know some people would be disappointed if I didn't do that. Yeah, not very soft. I do like the leather though. And then what an interesting, this is where the Germans over-engineer things, like a simple cup holder. Does it need to be as complicated as this? I don't think so. But it does have just enough real estate for your arm. But even the way that they did this whole contraption, just, I don't know, man, does it need to be like that? I don't know. What do I know, right? But I do love the same quality of the seats that you get up front, you get in the back as well. But I better do that because now we're gonna see about getting in that third row of this Q7. All right, guys, like I said, very surprising, but they got a third row in here. They really squeezed it in here. It is a bear to just get the passenger seat to fold up. And to fit here successfully, I did have to slide both of these seats as far forward as they can. But Steven will show you. Here my knees are, and this is the back of the seat. So I'm squished back here like a grape. And then, I mean, it's just all hard plastic. There's no USB. There's no AC vents back here, which sucks. I definitely don't want to sit back here, and probably only in emergencies. Like if you find out that you have an extra kid that you didn't know about that shows up and says, "You're my dad" or "You're my mom," and the rest of the seats are full, you could fit them back here. I mean, you already abandoned them or forgot about them or had an accident, so might as well just keep punishing them and put them in this third row. But let's get into the cargo area and see how this compares to the competition. All right, guys, cargo area time. Now, like I said, X5, 2-row, MDX Type S, 3-row. You can see I have the third row up. Just like I was sitting back there, it's tight. How much room we have? 14 cubic feet of space with the seats up. You fold the seats down, that's gonna give you 35 cubic feet of space. And to fold them down, it's real simple. You're just gonna hit the button. You actually have to hold your hand down on the button, which is kind of a bummer. But once they're done, you have over 30 cubic feet of space. Fold down the mid row, you're looking around 68 cubic feet of space. Now, what I do like is that you could lower the rear of the vehicle with that air suspension. I'm actually lowering the rear right now as we speak. You have your cargo net holder for a box of Twinkies. What do we have underneath? Let's take a peek. You have your subwoofer and a bunch of stuff. That's about it. You got the ECU, your subwoofer. There's no spare. You could take this out and throw it around, but there's actually no spare to think of with this vehicle. But why don't we go ahead? If you're ready, I'm definitely ready. Let's go for a spin and see how this Q7 performs. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Audi Q7. And right away, I mean, the fit and finish and the materials in here are really excellent. And if you're ready, I'm ready to go on throttle. On throttle, here we go. 8-speed drops down and we are off. Definitely gets the power to the ground very effectively. You have your large head-up display. And because I'm in dynamic mode, that really has the transmission hold that gear so that when you go back on throttle, it doesn't need to drop back down. That's what the different drive select modes do, is that it's going to adjust how the engine and the transmission behave, throttle sensitivity, and steering sensitivity as well. But visibility is great out the front, out the back, same story. Large side mirrors. I do like the way they put the blind spot monitoring lights into the actual side of the housing for the mirror rather than on the mirror itself. And then of course that virtual cockpit, super clear, beautiful resolution. And the fact that you could bring up the map right there really allows you to not take your eyes off the road, because you could have something else up on the middle screen here and then have your map up on a different setup. Like if I bring up my Sirius XM and stuff, we could get into all that information very easily. But love the way you got your easy icons, easily laid out, well within reach. It's just the amount of gloss black is a little heavy for my taste. I know some people like this, not my favorite, but I do love the dark wood finish in here. That is really spectacular. But going down the road, we just have it in auto mode. Very smooth, very comfortable. The seats are super supportive, which is nice. And you have all the amenities that you can think of. Plus you have that quattro all-wheel drive system that's gonna keep you planted no matter what the surface is underneath you. But it really is easy to drive, and it makes you feel confident, which I think is really, really important. You're not getting a bunch of piped in sound really in the cabin, which is also pleasant. Don't need a bunch of artificial sound and stuff in here. Let me go ahead and put it back into sport mode, or I should say dynamic mode. That's what they call sport with Audi. And then we're gonna get on throttle a little bit and show off some of the handling characteristics of this Audi Q7. On throttle, here we go. Really, really nice. Obviously, the brakes, everything is well balanced in here. The vehicle stays planted the whole time, no matter if you're in a turn, if you're hard on the brakes, whatever it may be, you feel in control. And I think that is one of the fundamental foundation pieces of Audi, is having that ultimate control because of all the engineering that is in their vehicles. But it's just crazy how you could drop a needle in here and it is that quiet. You will hear it bounce around. That's how quiet it is in this cabin. Interesting how they decided to keep it a 3-row, even though that 3rd row is on the tighter side. Let me go ahead and make a U-turn here. Making a U-turn, nice and easy. And then now we're gonna go on throttle. Are you ready? From a dead stop. On throttle, here we go. Nice shift from that 8-speed. Very balanced, very composed. And remember, if you want more performance, Audi offers more performance with the SQ7. But the Q755 really seems to be the sweet spot with the balance of power that you're getting compared to your standard Q7, the 45, or the SQ7. And then, like I said, nice to have all these different modes. The all-road is your off-road mode. You can go into comfort, really softens things up, the suspension and everything, the throttle sensitivity, and really allows you to feel super good behind the wheel. I think that's one of the most important things to take away with this vehicle is just how it makes you feel. And you feel really, really good. So well built, and the materials, besides the gloss black, are top notch. But I'm hoping that this has been a good overall review of what the SQ7 is bringing. We're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, another great day in so many ways here on Rady's Rides. Definitely want to thank the whole Audi USA team for allowing us access to this press fleet vehicle. Let me know what you think. Is this the best way to go for your mid-size luxury SUV over an X5, over an Acura MDX? Let me know down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. Got to give it up to Stephen Flood. He's always got work on his mind. And you know what? He's working towards that perfection of living life every day with as little pain as possible. So show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.